Hello and welcome once again to MGTracey. If you're one of those who've not subscribed, then please subscribe, it really helps me. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. So today we're doing some Tassimo stuff. We're going to be having a look at a new one, which is the Cadbury's Orange. So this is like Terry's Chocolate Orange, I suppose. It's that sort of thing. So it's a brand new chocolatey flavour. So we're going to have a go with that one. And as a bit of a reminder of best practice, or if you're new to Tassimo, I'll show you how to make the perfect Costa latte. So let's jump straight in. Now I've got a Dolce Gusto machine here, and that's just I'm getting ready for my next video, and we're going to be having a look at this new phenomenon. If you've not heard about it, everyone's talking about it, and it's matcha. So it's a sort of a very green tea, but people seem to be making it into lattes, smoothies, even in their baking. So I'm going to have a go at doing that in a Dolce Gusto machine in the next video. Today we're concentrating on Tassimo, and we're going to have a crack at the new Cadbury Orange. So this is a My Way 2. What I've done is I took out the Brita water filter thing in there. It's too easy to forget about the correct dates, and actually if you leave that charcoal sitting in water for more than 28 days, actually it's going to start making the water worse and not too healthy for you. So, and if you do need to filter your water, you know, get a water filter. I wouldn't mess around with this. It also takes up a cup's worth of the space. Without it, you get 4 good drinks out of there. So remember, fresh water each day. If you've been not used the machine for a while, then you need to dig out your little cleaning disc. So I'll show you that one in a moment. Make sure you've got the right size glass. I'll put the links below for the ones I have. And I find with lattes as well, you actually need to make sure you've got a decent length spoon for it. So these all pop out. Incidentally, the 2 most common problems people have with Tassimo, didn't put my teeth in, is not docking the tank correctly. So if you get funny rattling noises and no water coming out, just make sure you've docked that. The other one is particularly because you make the milky part of the coffees first, they can leak a bit, and a little blob of coffee just here on this glass inside here, which is the barcode reader, will mean that when you come to do the coffee part, it isn't going to work. So just make sure that bit's clean for both stages. So you're probably familiar with the size of a tea disc for coffee. It's quite a thin thing. Remember, you can recycle all these now. If you Google pod back, you'll be able to get a free return envelope. So whatever coffee machine you've got, you'll be able to post those off and they can get fully recycled. It's quite a difficult thing really, because you've got on this foil, you've got some plastic, and inside you've got food goods. So often a Costa coffee, the pod is not empty at the end of it. What you've done is you've put boiling water through some ground coffee. So the ground coffee is still in there, like making a tea and having a tea bag. There's still tea in the bag. So that makes recycling quite difficult. Podback is the manufacturer's got together and set up a scheme where that's now not a problem. But when you look at the orange one here, you can see it's much thicker. Now it is really just chocolate powder in there. Let's see if we can get camera on there. It is just chocolate powder in there. But let's see how we get on. And although it's much bigger, it does fit in the machine. So firmly push that down. If there's too much resistance, don't force it. Something's not lined up correctly. Obviously on the My Way, we've got a lot of our options to do cup size and temperature. I'm just going to leave it as it is, how the barcode sets us up, and we're going to have a go now at making our first Cadbury Orange hot chocolate. Now the first thing this is doing is it's building up the bar pressure. It's also heating the water. On some of the discs it will fire a little bit of hot water into this first, then it will stop, and then it will have a go at pouring. It doesn't need to do that obviously with hot chocolate. Oh, this smell is absolutely brilliant. It's quite a Christmassy smell, I suppose, to me, chocolate orange. But you can see you've got the chocolate there, and you've almost got a frothy sort of head. I'm hoping the machine is going to stop itself here and be happy, but if you need ever to stop the machine because it's going to overflow, just touch your teardrop. If you need more fluid while it's still flashing, you can hold it to add a bit more. That actually looks about on the money, doesn't it? That steam coming off is normal. If you start getting an awful lot of that steam, an excessive amount of steam, then you need to do a decalcification, which I've made a separate video on. Now remember, do not open the top until this stops flashing, whichever Tassimo machine you've got. It's the same rule. This machine has to depressurize before you lift the top up, or your machine is not going to last you very long. I've got my original My Way is now 4 years old, so if you look after them, clean them, and don't open them before they're ready, you're fine. Now you see that's now a solid teardrop. On some machines it's a solid colour. If it's not flashing, you're okay. You can lift this up. Now remember, this can be hot. On Tassimo's you do have a little lip to help you to put it in the recycling, and that's pretty empty. There's a little bit of powder. There's a little bit of powder left in there, but that's not too bad. So I let that cool off, and then that goes outside in the next envelope. And there you are. Let's have a look at that then. Look at that. Now the smell is chocolate and orange. I don't know, there's some other nutty fragrances in there as well. And it does taste absolutely brilliant. I had one last night. It's really lovely as a late night drink. It's a bit hotter than maybe a coffee would be, so you might need to leave that a little while to cool down. Okay, let's now have a go at making the perfect Costa latte. If you're in the States, Costa is our #1 brand here in the UK. Think Starbucks and you won't be a million miles away. Right, now we're going to have a go now at making a latte. Now because we have just made hot chocolate, if you look in here, you'll see there's a bit of hot chocolatey stuff. So to stop any contamination, you do need to use your little cleaning disc when you swap between really different drinks. So between tea and coffee, coffee and chocolate, you'll need to run the machine through the cleaning cycle. So this little disc has the barcode that tells the machine to clean, just like with a normal tea disc, tea drop. It's not going to do a huge amount, but that will now run. And actually you can see from the colour, hopefully there, that's not clear water, and that's just rinsing some of that Cadbury's Chocolate Orange out of there, so we don't cross-contaminate with our next drink. Well, again, this is quite hot, but you can see that is not clear water, so that chocolatey powder or whatever's been left in the machine would have gone into your coffee, so that's why you need to run your cleaning disc. Right, here we go then. So we're going to take out the cleaning disc, I'll pop that back on the side so that you don't lose it. If you do lose it, you will need one, and you can get them from Amazon. Now, with all, we can do the Costa latte. Now, with all of those, you always do the milk first, and you will find that it does sort of say, what does it say? Me first. So it does say me first to remind you. And you need to give it a good shake. It's quite a concentrated, thick milk in there that is mixed with hot water under pressure. But you always start with that. Again, you might have to experiment a bit to make sure the standard setting is okay for your glass, and when you go this, don't panic, it should stop, but if it doesn't, remember, hit the teardrop. But it's going to look like an awful lot of milk in there, and that's only because it's frothed up milk, really. So again, you've got the pressure here being built up in the Tassimo, as well as almost boiling water, but not boiling water, going in there, and you can, if you're a bit closer, you can make out there's the milk here, and this is froth. And different types of lattes that have flavours of caramel or ginger, the flavouring is always in the milk. The latte, the actual Costa coffee bit, or the coffee itself, is always the same. The flavour's in the milk. Now you can see we've got a lot of milk and froth. Hopefully that's going to stop. There we are, it has. I'm starting to panic, it's okay. Now it does look quite full, but all you're going to do is put a shot of coffee into there. And we're getting plenty of steam, aren't we, off that one. So now again, we're waiting for the teardrop to stop flashing, so that we can lift the lid up, and then we'll put that in. All these pods go in the same pod back recycling envelope. Wheezing away in the background as it lets go the pressure. So there we go. Now that one should be empty. But again, be careful, it's hot, it might have hot water in it. So now we're going to put our latte in, and again, very helpfully, what Costa have done, what Tassimo have done, is they've put me second. And make sure there's no milk ended up on your barcode reader glass, else it's not going to work. Firm pressure, and off we go. Now just be careful with this one doesn't overflow, but it should just inject a shot into there. It's nowhere near as much fluid as the milk, and a lot of that is froth anyway. But I shall be standing by ready to tap the button if it's a bit too much. So the machine is building up the temperature, building up the pressure, and now it will fire it through the ground coffee beans, and you get this fantastic pattern that I always say is like watching a pint of Guinness settle, and to me it's even better. I absolutely love it. I want to stop that there. I think that one might be a bit lively otherwise. So you've now got your coffee there. Remember, if you didn't have enough, just hold that button, it'll put more fluid in. I've obviously got desperately the right amount there. That's very scarily near the top. And this is where your spoon comes in, really. Because you can see it's quite nice to serve that to your friends or family in that format, because they probably won't have seen that at home, so that's going to blow their mind. You've got a lot of coffee here, a mix and then milk, but what they need is a spoon, so they can just give it a little stir around there, but you do need to have the right length spoon, so I say links are below in the description. And there you are, you have got a fantastic smelling and fantastic tasting Costa latte. And that's the one we did earlier, which was the Cadbury's Chocolate Orange. So I hope really you find that useful. Please send me a message to say don't forget to subscribe. That'd be really helpful for me, and definitely give me a big thumbs up. This is Paul from London. I'll see you in the next video, and we're going to be having a go with the Dolce Gusta and trying out the new thing, matcha.